Welcome to the Global Sunday Show. That was DJ Catafont in the building. He reminded me actually of the first annual of the Global Sunday that was happening last week. It was insane. It's another day. It's another Sunday. This is your boy Lungani Gwala, aka Chocolate Kid Leo, and I'm gonna be your producer for today. And today is gonna be insane. If this weekend you didn't go to the club, this weekend you haven't seen someone famous, this weekend you haven't seen a real performer, a real artist, you are lucky if you are watching the show right now, because you are going to witness all of that today live. And remember, if you want to call us during the show, plus 2779-673-4077. That's the WhatsApp number. WhatsApp only. Before I give you energy, I just want to say we are really sorry. I know we're not, but we are really sorry that we are running late. Some technical errors, I mean, obviously everybody, when they're having issues, they always blame it on the technical stuff. So I'll do the same and I'll say it's the technical error. Shout out to you, technical error, wherever you are. Shout out to you. Yeah, this is the Global Sunday, and I cannot wait to introduce my panelists for today. Oh man, it's so insane. If you are on Facebook, you saw my latest post. I was expressing myself about how excited I am about today's show, because it's really like I don't know, they call it bulldogs. They call it bulldogs. Are you ready? Oh yeah, it is bulldogs. You don't know what I'm talking about. Something is happening in the background, but unfortunately you don't know what it is. So today, just briefly, today we have a young female artist by the name of Lassandra. She has been everywhere. She has performed in a lot of different stages, a lot of different places. She is so amazing. I know you guys always question me each and every time I have a guest. Every weekend actually. You're like, you guys are always like, you know what? This time he's lying. Is he interviewing Fatman Scoop? Oh no, he's lying. He has Lassandra, he's lying. Okay, all right. We'll see who's the fool. In a few moments, we'll see who's the fool. Unfortunately, she's not going to be performing for us today. Maybe if she wants to, she will. But we are going to be playing her live performance from eThekwini PRC, if I'm not mistaken. And you're definitely going to love that. I know in Durban, South Africa, there's a lot of issues with the signal. And, so that is why I'm saying we've been having a technical error. I know Miss Classic there has been going on and off because of the signal in South Africa. But hopefully we are going to defeat it. We are going to be defeated, and we are going to be able to run the show until the end of the show. But let me say, Miss Classic all the way from South Africa in Durban, David Pike all the way from Australia, Claire Laman, all the way from Australia, Mr. Ken Laden, all the way from the US, Arizona, and Mr. People, the lovely stripper, all the way from Germany. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hello,
Welcome back.
everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
You
I'm
guys
Lungani.
take over, take over. I'm out of here. Please take over the show.
Greetings to everyone. This is Miss Classic from South Africa in the area called Devon. I welcome all of you. Those who tried so hard this week and didn't make it so well, I wish you can just rise up, lift your head up. And I want to congratulate those graduates that graduated this month. And also to say a happy birthday to all of you that you're celebrating your birthdays, including our own Professor Mzilikazi Kumalo, the father of the late Sibongile Kumalo, our jazz singer. I want to wish you a very happy birthday. And also Mapule Indovugazi from Inanda 88.4 FM. Yeah, today we are having a great show with our guest Lassandra, but then I want us to talk about our week. I had a fabulous awareness at Tlengipilo with my lovely kids and stakeholders that came visit the school. We had child abuse awareness and safety awareness where we had our Metropolis coming and visiting our school to show the kids how to take care of the dogs, like how Mr. Ken Laden will do if he will. So yeah, we were taught a lot about the dogs. The dogs are very important to us. So we were teaching our learners that they can protect us. So we have to take care of them. And I also had to attend the June 16 awareness celebration.
Well, it's a pleasure to be back. And I will be having a mix, a duet with Miss Classic, as everybody can hear. We have been rehearsing that for
where we had so out of the school
really contemporary music, and we're gonna deal with it the best way we can, as we always do, as we are artists that perform on the stage. So it's good to see you all, especially Lungani. I heard it was Father's Day, also Ken. So happy Father's Day, and also that you celebrated Juneteenth, which will be a holiday in the United States, an official holiday. And I read it's the first holiday that was introduced since the Martin Luther King Day in like 84 or 85 or 86.
That's right.
Beautiful. And the week has been sending me to the south of Germany, the beautiful Stuttgart, where I spent some time having some duties to do there. And it's always good to travel along the River Rhine. Whoever doesn't know it, that is something that inspired many poets. It's almost as beautiful as the jungle to which David Pike lives next to. And it's just smaller. So it's good to be back, and I'm gonna pass on to Ken.
Well, thank you. Thank you for mentioning Father's Day. This is also Youth Month, and the Youth Initiative in South Africa. Being a parent is probably the greatest joy there is. And watching the young come up, learn, take over, start directing this world is really, really an inspiration, particularly our guest today. And also just to all of my kids, I love you. It's been a long time since I've seen some of my kids because of COVID. And so I'm looking forward to seeing them again. And yes, Juneteenth, absolutely. our family celebrated Juneteenth from the 1950s because it was very, very important. My father was a political scientist, my mother's a fine artist, and they were always fighting for equality. And so as a family, we always acknowledged Juneteenth, and that was the day that officially the slaves were freed in America. And I can't believe that I'm now 68 and they're finally waking up and making it the holiday that it has been for many people in the United States for a long time, but finally it's a national holiday. In terms of this week, it's been a very hot week here. We have record-breaking temperatures, but also there have been some things that have been starting up, as people are getting vaccinated. And so we're getting ready to go into full gear here, hopefully by September in the United States. I also just wanted to say from a news perspective that I am so glad that the G7 are giving those billion doses of vaccine to the poorer countries. I even had one of my kids yelled at me and said, "Why do you need to get the vaccine? You're old. You should give your vaccine to somebody in a poor country." I don't remember that person's name, nor will I ever remember it again. No, no, but thank God that the wealthiest countries have gotten together finally after so many years of irresponsibility from people in leadership positions to take responsibility and share the wealth. And I believe that from there, we kind of skipped over Claire Larman. So I'm going to toss it to Claire before she tosses it to David. Claire is incredible. And if you ever talk to Claire, ask her, how did you get those television sets out that window? Claire.
Oh, Ken, for goodness sakes. Hi, everybody. So I'm in Melbourne, Australia at the moment, and we've just come out of our fourth lockdown. So this week, people are starting to creep back into the world, which is, it's kind of really difficult because, we get stuck at home and we do all these projects, clearing out cupboards and sheds and what have you. And then we have to go back into the world, and it's kind of great and scary all at once. So I'm experiencing that big time this time for the fourth time, where everything's uncertain. A lot of shows have been cancelled. I work as an actor, so one of my shows was cancelled, and everything's just a little bit uncertain. So we're all dealing with that down here in Melbourne, along with the cold, which is absolutely freezing. But, it's pretty good. And I'm very grateful to have my family close by and all those whom I love. And, obviously I can see people on Zoom and what have you. So, yeah, it's been a bit trying at the moment, but it's still exciting. How about you, David?
Yeah, hi. Welcome, Claire, to the panel. It's good to have a second Australian on board because you understand what I'm saying. I'm just to give people an idea to live in other beautiful countries. I'm about 4,000 kilometres from Claire, so she's in about 12 degrees. We're on the same time zone. I'm in about 21, and I'm finding it really cool, Claire. So I apologise for that because we're normally used to about 37. I live up a place called Cooktown. It's named after one of the British explorers, navigators that came out in 1770. And this has been a huge week here in Cooktown with festivals. They've had large ceremonies where they have our Indigenous people having what they call a welcome to country ceremony. It's one of the few places in Australia where the relations, in particular between the incoming European British visitors and the Indigenous, was very amicable because they landed on a sacred site unbeknownst to them, and there could be no bloodshed. So actually, it's been a week full of ceremonies, and I've learned so much about the local culture and what a musket sounds like at short range, unfortunately. And it's just very interesting to see 200 years of history presented in front of you. And I'll just give you a little anecdote. They have horses went down the main street of the town in a parade, and they had a horse dropping collection team, as you do, for the droppings. Otherwise, people slip over. And I've never seen this before, and I have to pass this on. I've never seen. I was a young lady dressed in a cocktail dress with a shovel picking it up. So I said, well, no matter how many your task is in life, you should always dress to impress. And I've got photos, which I'll share later. Anyway, I think we're over to checking out the entertainment with Lungani.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, David Pike. Yes, there was Mr. Pike, Mr. Ladin, and Mr. Taffel, Miss Classic, and Claire. Soon we're gonna be revealing our guest. Because we are late, I'm not gonna be covering so much from the entertainment news. I'm just gonna play her live performance at Togwini PRC, and then I'm gonna hand over to our host, because I know people are watching at home right now. They cannot wait to see Lassandra, because they think I'm lying, I know. But yeah, what happened is, I'm just gonna touch on the event that happened last week, because I am supposed to be playing Panty Museum video where Mr. Paul is taking us on a tour and showing us the Panty Museum with all the history. It's a very lovely place. If you are in Durban, South Africa, or you happen to be traveling to Durban, or you're going to be traveling soon to Durban, South Africa, please ask about Panty Museum and go there and ask for Mr. Paul, or just go to the Panty Museum in Durban. It is so amazing. It is so amazing. If we get time, we're definitely going to be playing it today later on. But because we are late, I'm just going to play a live performance from Lassandra. Just introduction, just to say, and when we come back, we're gonna talk some more with my special panelist and my special guest. This is the Global Sunday, Lungani Gwala, baby. I'll see you when we come back.
That tank looks full. Yes. There's incredible art in that whole thing. Look at this. Amazing. This is also a fantastic artist. This is a bicycle in the 60s. And it can go up any room, any of that. But look at the workmanship on it. And this is the big tragedy about South Africa. So this is all about the academics working out who was the husband beater, or the crocodile eater, or the police abuser, or whatever it was. But these are actually, to me, the most important thing is that beauty heals. You want to give these things to somebody, you're making them to share your pain. And that's what it's all about. So I think let's go in there, and now we come to the room of identity. I'll just talk about this a little bit later.
second song is I Will Always Love You, and I hope you enjoy. This is my last song. If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go home, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you. Will always love you. thank you so much and stay safe at home. And I just want to say thank you so much to PCR for letting me perform today. God bless.
And that was the amazing Lassandra, who is a rising star in Durban. She's been performing since 2013 and really that's amazing because she's so young still and obviously a great career ahead of you. And so I'd love to ask you, how do you choose the songs that you perform and what leads you to the songs that you do, Lassandra? Welcome to the show.
So thank you so much, ma'am. Basically how I choose my songs, it's based on the event. So I would check out if the event is very formal. So I would choose like songs, like Whitney Houston songs, Puff Johnson, all those nice old school, refreshing, smooth music, just to go with the theme and all that. So that's how I choose. And I don't just choose any kind of music. I like choosing songs, old school, because I truly believe old school music has nice lyrics that are meaningful and very powerful and strong. So yeah.
Welcome. That's beautiful. I'm going to take it over here. And I also say from Germany, a very warm hello, good evening. However, it is very early in the morning in Australia and we have a nice brunch probably happening in the US. And here we go, David is back. And so we've just seen you performing I Will Always Love You. And that's also a hit from Lungani. However, he only sings it to us in the secret moments. Just don't tell anyone. I remember when I was a teenager, there was The Bodyguard playing in the movie theaters, and there was Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston singing that, and it's a song I've always held in good memory, and you just performed it beautifully. So I'm so impressed how a voice can be a means of expression, because having been a dancer before, I know what it means to have a interface in between, like a mouse or you have a keyboard, and it's nothing like being able to perform with your own body. It has something immediate. It has a presence. And in the same time, it's a huge confrontation because you're never able to see yourself while you're performing. And in Indian culture, I think it is, they say there's always this double thing. There's the creation and the creator. And this is a very interesting topic, but we will also speak about some of these things later. And I'll pass on to, I think, what's the name of your dog again?
Joko.
Okay. He wants to say
Joko.
Well, I'll speak on Joko's behalf. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making yourself available to us. Thank you so much for letting our public that follow the Global Sundays see somebody as prominent as yourself, that we've had many guests on this show, just to get to know you as a human being, which is so important. In terms of the song, I Will Always Love You, I have a long history working with Dolly Parton, who wrote that song. And I had the chance when the movie came out, The Bodyguard, and Whitney was doing that, I asked her about that, and I didn't know, because sometimes when people originate a song, and she said, I can't do a Dolly Parton imitation, but she said, she did a fantastic job with that song. I said, but don't you have any feeling about it? And she said, no. She said, a song is a living thing, and everybody's lips, every instrument it passes through keeps it alive. She said, do I want my children, my grandchildren to be just like me? No. One of me is enough, is what she said. Anyway, and so I'm so glad to see that, it's so funny to hear you say that it's an old style song for somebody like me, that it seems like it was 10 minutes ago. But anyway, but I'm really glad that you're lending your voice to those things as well as the new. And I'm so happy to have you here on this show. Welcome to join our family.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And David, let's hear from you.
Greetings, Lassandra from Australia. It's wonderful to see brand new talent. I know that you're more well known than I knew about you, but because of being on the show, I've got to read your bio and I've got to look at the clips, and you're outstanding and you've got a big career ahead of you. I can see that, no problem. I was going to ask you, I've been to Durban a few times. Do you think Durban is a bit of a cultural hub in South Africa for new talent?
Yeah, kind of. It's difficult. All I could say is it's difficult being part of the music industry in South Africa because not everybody recognizes you. Because I feel like people, when you have something, they become so jealous and all that, and they don't become so supportive and all that stuff. So it's really difficult out here. But I mean, I'm gonna keep pushing and all that stuff. I'm gonna keep working hard because I'm a work harder.
Yeah,
I work very hard.
Did you have a background at all? I know I'm just running a parallel and I probably shouldn't do it, but with Whitney Houston, I believe her beginnings were in church, singing in church and choirs. Did you have any kind of a background like that yourself?
I actually started singing when I was at my grandparents' anniversary and I was 4 years old. I really wanted to perform for them. So my mom actually took me to stage. She carried me and she held the mic for me and I actually sang. And people were like, no, she was not singing. She was just lip syncing. And then, I continued singing and all that stuff. And professionally, I started when I was like 8 to 7 years old because I entered a competition. It was called Gateway to Fame. I was really scared, but my mom said I had the ability to win, and I just had this consistency of having faith and being so dedicated to something I really love. And I came first on the junior category. And from there, I've been getting gigs till now.
Wow. I heard you talk about the music of the older type music and how you need a song that relates with a meaning, and that. I also heard that you're also studying at the music school. So are you finding that the music that's being written and produced at the moment are there some people that you're following or that you're writing yourself, perhaps this kind of philosophy behind the creation of a piece of music, a song?
You see the music that they write now, I kind of feel it's just for entertaining, for me, the way I write my music, I have to sit down and think about it. I want something that's gonna live forever. I just don't want to make a song that's just gonna be for that certain period of time. That's why I love listening to old music because it has powerful meanings and strong words. So when you listen to it, you feel what the person was writing. You actually go through the emotions that they actually went through. So that's my aim in the music industry, to heal people's soul with my music.
Okay. I've got thousands of questions, but I've got to pass on to Miss Classic, but it is lovely and to welcome you. And obviously we're going to talk a bit further, so we'll talk in a minute. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Miss Classic's question because I think she got disconnected. I think there's an issue back there in South Africa with the signal. I know there's a lot of load shedding going on, and I know people's microphone keeps doing a sound. But yeah, I mean, let me firstly welcome you again, Lassandra. Welcome to the Global Sunday Show. And yeah, actually, I should be saying welcome to the family. You're part of the family now. It's really, really amazing to hear from. I don't think we've heard a young person, except for me, obviously, a young person on the show but yeah, it's really good to see young people, doing something for themselves, to becoming an example in the industry, especially for music. But my question is, now I know that creating an NGO. So I'm just gonna jump to a question that is right next to me right now, because Miss Classic is not here. But I know creating an NGO is a huge task. I know I've done it before, and I was very young. Um, but now, you as Lassandra, what is the I think I'm hearing a sound from people, but people, if maybe you can lower your microphone for people who are watching at home.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's the European Championships of soccer, and
It's all
everybody outside is going crazy. I'm gonna mute myself. My apologies, Lissandra.
right.
The people, they feel a need to drive around and honk the horn because someone just won a game.
It's all right. It's all right. So, what is the mission? What is the mission of this NGO or this nonprofit organization, and how did you get this idea of starting this organization? Please, over to you. For people who are watching at home, would try our best to make sure that we give back the video feed, but I know there's some technical errors going on. The signal is very poor in South Africa, so we'll try and give you the feed. Please go for it, ma'am.
All right. So basically, how I started the NGO, when I was at home, there was a neighbor. She actually came and asked for food. And it wasn't like the first time. She regularly come and ask for food, and I'll give her some food. And I remember it was one of the days where I told my parents that I think I want to open an NGO to help the people in need. So we sat down and we planned everything, and getting sponsors was very difficult because I don't even have sponsors right now. But what I did is that I took the money that I have made, for my performances, saved that money to help those 15 families that I am feeding. It's not really that easy to start an NPO, a non-governmental organization. It's really difficult, especially when you don't have sponsors. But I believe in God that everything's going to go well. And I just pray that I continue having gigs because these people really depend on me. And it's sometimes it's quite difficult because I remember last year I couldn't even help them because of the COVID and all that stuff. But luckily I had gigs so I could help the people in need.
Well,
so yeah.
Just a quick one. How long has been the organization running? And perhaps what does the organization deal with? I'm sorry to take over. I know my hosts are gonna kill me for this, but blame it on the technical error. Yes, please. How long has been the organization running?
It started in 2018. Yes, 2018. So it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. It's been quite difficult. I'm not gonna lie, because as I said, I don't have sponsors. I've been trying to get sponsors here in South Africa, but they don't want to help. But I'm just going to continue being me and helping. I'm just continue helping the people in need.
And in what way do you assist people? I know I had an organization called Diverse Entertainment, where we were taking performers from South Africa, Johannesburg and Durban, and we were taking them to China to perform every year, and I had to do the fundraising on my own. I remember at some point I would just raise funds and save my own money from my pocket, and make sure that they have flights, they have accommodation there. Obviously they were sponsoring us with the accommodation in China and stuff like that, but at some point I would raise funds on my own to take these people, to take these dancers, these artists, these creatives, to go and travel and explore a different country rather than South Africa. So, what do you actually help people with in your organization?
So basically, I give them like food parcels. So I do like a lot of big grocery thingies for them, like food, and give them clothing. And if they have problems with uniforms, I would help out with distributing some uniforms like jerseys, shoes, socks, and all that, etc. That's what I do.
And rather than maybe funds, what other issues do you come across when you are running that organization? I mean, I know for me, for instance, when I was, I met these young people who lived in the street, and I felt so bad because I was taking care of these people who had homes, they had parents, they had brothers and uncles, and they had like maybe 60% of what a person that lives on the street needed. So that became a huge challenge for me, that I am taking care of people who has a shelter and they have food to eat every night, some of them, but there is people who are living in the streets not knowing what they're gonna eat every night. So I started doing something that involves street kids, so that they won't be left out. So what other challenges that you come across as Lassandra NGO?
I actually don't come across any issues. It's just financially wise, and getting sponsors. That's it. That's the only issues I'm kind of facing at the current moment. So it's really bad. I mean, like, I've tried so hard to get sponsors, but nothing.
Right. All right. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. While we are fixing the technical error, I think I'm gonna play a quick video from No Chill God, and then when we come back, probably the issue of the technical error will be fixed, or we're just gonna tell Miss Classic to take a break, and we're gonna continue. This is the Global Sunday. Remember, today we have Lassandra. We're going to be talking to her some more, and we are going to be playing some of her music. She's going to be sharing her contact details. I know there's a lot of you has been saying, oh my God, where can I find her contact details? I want to collaborate with her. I want to do something with her. Wait. At the end of the show, she is going to be sharing her contact details, and you are going to be getting in contact with her. So enjoy this video from No Chill God, and then when we come back, we'll talk some more with Lassandra Lungani Gwala, aka Chocolate Kid Leo, the Global Sunday. Enjoy.
You are watching Global Sundays.
Nikki, Kadi, we need to start the meeting. Kadi, you can't be eating through the meeting, you'll be farting soon. Stop laughing, Nick, it's not fun. Kadi.
Very funny. Hold on, I'm about to think. I'm about to get some
Are you gonna
seasoning for the shit because back? Yes, Nikki, I am.
Please click on the button on your phone there, the corner. There's a button there.
Click on my phone on the bottom.
Can you tell those people are making noise, Kadi?
Hey, I'm on live, so don't say nothing crazy.
It's no bottom. It's just a keypad and the screen, and I see y'all.
There's no way there's a button, Nick, at the corner. You need to add 69. The meeting needs to start. This Skype is eating my time.
It's no bottom, y'all. Pause, but it's no bottom on my thing.
There's a plus sign there. Look there. You'll see. There's no way. I'm not stupid. I can't tell you something that I know is not there. Please, guys, let's be serious. Time, Nick.
Y'all, I can't even unblock somebody. I don't know how to work this shit, okay?
So why are you shouting at me? I'm trying to help you now. What do you see in front of you on the Skype?
Literally, the only thing I see is like where I can type and comment. It says comment, and then under it is my keypad.
Ask, because we need 69. Ask someone.
And you know damn well these hoodlums don't know shit.
Okay, you add yourself. There's a plus sign. Add 69. We need to talk now. Nikki, please. We don't have time. Find it out yourself. I don't have time, guys. You celebrities, I don't know how you living, but Cardi B, please come back. Please, I don't have time. At 8, I should be out here. Come sit down. Stop doing what you're doing. Ooh. Stop being a kid, Cardi. And tell me where you coming from. What were you doing? Because we don't have time. We need to finish now. What were you doing when you left the meeting? We can't hear you, Nikki. You mute yourself.
So I found my teaching powder.
What?
Because one of these motherfuckers probably threw it away. But we're going to try Obey. Because Obey kind of got the sick. It's not really the same type of spice with my mango.
Sorry? What are you talking about?
That was Ustelo Nedi Gaffer Squad bathi I miss you. Ngizothi ngithi ngithatha nginise mumva ngindlale ingoma yo. I think here Ulakibo Igaba, this guy is amazing. He used to be a break dancer, but then washinja waba a musician because before now we express a lengoma le inhlaba umxhole kakhulu because it's from a true story. Wakuhlangena ama-artist la ayephatheke kabi ekhathelwa amantombazane ahlukumezanayo. I think you should really listen to this track because I mean it is kind of funny, but you know it's a very emotional track, and the fact that iqiniso iyathintana ngempela inhliziyo. I mean how they structured this track, it was so amazing. Ukulinda kancane uzosithinta uma ese-ready. Ungayi indawo ngizodlala le music omnandi. Send me a text on WhatsApp 07967340. Go.
Welcome to Global Sunday. Today is June 20th, 2021, and I'm Kenneth Ludden reporting for Global Sunday News. Today, our first news segment comes from Adaderana Studio 24 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. We are facing some serious problems globally at this point in time, and something that has happened too recently to be in this news segment is the fact that there has been a major storm. Today alone, 15 people died. There were 9 children who were in a bus on a summer camp driving along the road, and they got swept off the road with the winds from the tropical storm and killed. Another father and son were in their house hunkering down, and a tree fell on the house, killed them. That is not, it's mentioned in our news feed today, but I just wanted to say something to those families with those 15 people lost today to this tropical storm. And so here is our first news clip of the day. Here are some of the problems the world is facing.
Thank you for joining with us on World News Tonight. We start off today's coverage with severe weather in the United States. The United States has suffered severe heat for the past few days, with the situation worsening as triple-digit temperatures are recorded, affecting tens of millions and more records being shattered.
It's not just one of the hottest starts to June on record out west. Tonight, the oppressive heat wave baking 45 million people is also one of the most dangerous.
Trying to stay hydrated, to stay cool.
With tens of millions facing triple digits again today, the National Weather Service in Arizona says it's likely nearly every square inch in the state set a new record high yesterday. In sweltering Phoenix, doctors warning the public touching a doorknob, a car handle, or standing barefoot on asphalt could lead to severe burns.
Working on this asphalt, the black asphalt, really brings out the heat and everything.
As Salt Lake City flirts with triple digits and Vegas shatters an 80-year record, the only thing rising as fast as the heat in Dallas are the calls for help.
Anyone in the city who's working outdoors, not in a climate-controlled environment, is absolutely at risk for heat stroke or heat exhaustion.
As extreme temperatures blanket the west, southwest, and parts of the plains, new records are being shattered by 10 degrees, some cities at 30 above average. According to the EPA, our nation is now suffering through more heat waves than ever before, many starting earlier and going later in the year. Not only are they longer, but more intense than the past. Tonight, our changing planet and a blistering threat across the West.
The Pentagon has voiced possible fears of a terrorist regrouping, as it has predicted that groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda may return to power in as little as 2 years' time.
Top U.S. military leaders said on Thursday that international militant groups like Al-Qaeda could pose a threat from Afghanistan to the U.S. homeland and American allies in 2 years. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham questioned U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley about it at a Senate committee hearing.
How would you rate the likelihood of international terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and ISIS regenerating inside of Afghanistan and presenting a threat to our homeland or our allies, given what you see today?
I would assess it as medium. I would also say, Senator, that it would take possibly 2 years for them to develop that capability.
Fair enough. General Miller?
I concur with that, and I think that if certain other things happen, if there was a collapse of the government or a dissolution of the Afghan security forces, that risk would obviously increase. But right now, I'd say medium and in about 2 years or so.
It's time for American troops to come home.
President Joe Biden's decision to withdraw troops completely from Afghanistan by September has raised concerns that the country could erupt in a full-scale civil war, providing Al-Qaeda space in which to rebuild and plan new attacks on the U.S. and other targets. A United Nations report in January said there were as many as 500 Al-Qaeda fighters in Afghanistan, and that the Taliban maintained a close relationship with the Islamist extremist group. The United States has completed more than half of its military withdrawal from Afghanistan, which is expected to be finished well before September. Biden has said the U.S. has the ability to keep an eye on any resurgence of Al-Qaeda without keeping a military footprint, but his administration is still trying to negotiate agreements with countries around Afghanistan to base forces or conduct lethal strikes.
North Korea is preparing for a tense conversation with the United States. According to leader Kim Jong-un, the country is expected to face confrontation amidst already high-tension dialogue.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has warned of potential confrontation with the United States. That's according to the North state media on Friday. In his first comments directed at the Biden administration, Kim stressed the need for both talks and confrontation with the U.S. in order to, quote, protect the dignity of our state and its interests for independent development. He also emphasized the need to create a favorable external climate for the North's own initiatives. Kim's remarks came during a Thursday meeting of the ruling Workers' Party after an earlier session where he called for measures to tackle a tense food situation caused by the global health crisis. Analysts say Kim is refraining from provoking the Biden administration amid reports of widespread food shortages and concerns about the spread of the health crisis, despite no official acknowledgement from his regime. Border closures have further hit the economy, already battered by international sanctions. Biden and South Korean President Moon Jae-in held their first summit in May, injecting fresh urgency into efforts to engage the North in nuclear weapons talks. North Korea lashed out at the U.S. and its allies in South Korea last month, accusing Washington of hostile policy that required a similar response from Pyongyang.
Battered by a double whammy of the COVID-19 pandemic and crushing sanctions after the US withdrew from the 2015 nuclear deal, Iran's economy is the top concern as voters head to the polls in the latest presidential election.
Final rally ahead of Friday's presidential election. Followers of the frontrunner, ultra-conservative cleric Ebrahim Raisi gathered to show their support. With just 4 candidates left in the race, Iran's body that vets nominees insisted the political contest is a serious one. Friday's vote will choose a successor to Iran's moderate president Hassan Rouhani, the architect of the Iran nuclear deal. He later came under fire from ultra-conservatives when Donald Trump tore it up in 2018. But with Raisi seen as the favorite, many voters say they've become disillusioned with the country's political process. This despite the urging of the president and the supreme leader to go and vote. Ebrahim Raisi's 2 main challengers include ex-Revolutionary Guards chief Mohsen Rezai and Abdel Nasser Hamadi, who's pro-reform but lacks the support of the main reformist coalition.
Day on June 20th. And as you can see, there are many dangerous things going on in the world. Please pay attention to the news. Pay attention to what's going on in your area. And if there's some way that you can help, find out from the authorities how you can help. Because as these disasters and these political problems happen, real people are in danger. And now, we're going to go to another song, a video from Lassandra, our guest, and it is We Will Be Okay. A perfect song after this news segment.
You are watching Global Sundays.
Nikki, we need to start the
Thanks.
You can't be eating in the meeting, you'll be fighting soon.
You're going to play Hello instead?
Stop laughing, Nikki, it's not fun. Cardi.
Very funny. Hold on, I'm about to sing. I'm about to get some seasoning.
So David brings us back with
yes, I am.
question 2. We've already done question 4.
Can you tell those people are making noise?
Welcome back to the Global Sundays. We're here with the lovely Lassandra, and I've got a question for you, Lassandra. You're very young, but you're a star already. So what does that feel like to you?
It feels kind of weird. I kind of treat myself as a normal human being. I just don't want to justify myself with any title because I was raised in a very good family where my parents taught me that I should not change because of a certain title. I should continue being the Lassandra that I am. That little girl that's respectful and knows other people and show humanity. So when people are like, oh my gosh, Lassandra, you're such a star. And it's like, it's weird for me to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I am. Because, it's weird.
Do you have weird. People, when you're in cafes or walking around shops and restaurants, do you have lots of people sometimes knowing you and coming up to you and saying hello?
Yeah. I stopped actually going out a lot because people are actually coming to me and taking a lot of pictures. And my parents were like, it's kind of dangerous to actually go without anyone, looking after me because, you never know if someone's going to kidnap you or something. So, yeah, a lot of people actually come to me. But I'm very nice, so I like taking pictures of people. So, yeah.
And do you get a chance to ever go to the schools for the younger generation coming through, even younger than yourself?
Yes. I actually do tours at schools to talk to teenagers and just talk about everything about the youth, about life and how to make great decisions as a young individual and all that stuff. And I really enjoy doing that.
Lovely. Mr. Ludden, some words.
Well, I had my first professional contract when I was 6. And I wasn't a child star, I was a child extra. but still on some television shows. But I've been performing professionally since I was 6, and I've known a lot of people who were actually child stars, people who are much, much bigger names than certainly I am, but, international iconic names. And the message that all of them have is know who you are. And if you know who you are, then you're never going to rely on your fame to replace your sense of self. And because that's when you get lost. Know who you are. Now, we all of us here are performers. We have a job to do. And part of the job is to represent our art form to the public. And yes, we are stars in our own right, and we have to know how to conduct ourselves in that way, just so that we ourselves show respect for the art form. But the minute you start taking it personally, that means that you don't have a base inside of yourself of who you are. So always know who you are and never be afraid to admit to the people you trust when you have problems, when you're confused, when you're angry. There are many, many times that you will not want to perform, but you will have to perform. And you have to find a way of doing that that doesn't make you sort of eat your soul for the fuel to get through it. You can always find something that helps you go through that. Do you have people in your life like that? It sounds like your mom is a perfect person like that. Miss Classic is another one of your immediate support network. But do you have people like that will always tell you the truth and that love you for who you are, not for what music you're doing?
Yes, true. There are. It's my parents, Miss Classic, a lot of people from the back center, from the band, and regular fans that, on Instagram, they DM me and they just tell me that I should never change. I should continue being this person that I am. And I love myself. I love me, and I'll never change.
That's what I hope not. I hope not. It's a rough world out there. I mean, it really is. You're very, very young, and I wish that every time you face a challenge, I could step between you and that challenge, because I know what it does. You'll have your heartbreaks, but all that's happening when that stuff is happening, it's just the world is writing lyrics for your next hit song. So from there, I guess we're going to go on to.
Ken, let me take over here.
Yeah, please do, Pipo.
And it's beautiful to learn from others. And when we are able to trust someone and to actually find to be embraced by the person. And you reminded me of being a dancer, and I was lucky to be a professional dancer at the age of 21. So I didn't go through that earlier. Still, when I was performing with world-renowned choreographers, there was something happening in my head, and that I was thinking like, wow, now you're getting there, And in the end, it didn't happen. It was just a couple of performances, and then I landed on my back, on my buttocks, and it was a very helpful experience to land on the buttocks and understand that what counts is the work we do. So I feel what is important is, first of all, like you said, to have people we can speak to openly. And on the other side, also to figure that it's about the things we do rather the impression, it makes. And just today, I watched a movie and it inspired me. However, after that, I felt, let's do something inspirational. And it's a lot of work to do the smallest thing. So nowadays, when we're looking at the media, and I wonder how you feel about that, Lassandra. It's suggested that there's an easy solution, there's a quick solution, there is an instant kind of beautiful picture taken, and to do the work before there was photos on the smartphone. It took quite some while, you know. You need to get the camera, you needed to learn how to deal with it, and you needed to go somewhere and process it. And that's an area and an era that is before the time that you've been in the industry. And maybe it will come back. Some people are shooting with analog in film again, because the digital and the duplicates that you have create something that they realize is not what they want. So when that brings me to another question, and you have performed to raise awareness for children with dyslexia and also for orphans. And we had a guest, Mtina Momtina, and she's been establishing the Mother of Books literacy campaign. And there is something we can do with the prominence of being a performer and being present and being in this position that, as a friend always said, you know, you need to carry the candle. And the chances that with the role we have, we can make an impact on others rather than on ourselves only. So is there something you could share with our audience, the lovely audience? And I'm giving a big shout out to everybody who's sticking with us despite the minor technical little things happening there, that you're still here with us. So is there something you want to share, something everybody could do, you know, somebody who would say like, yeah, there's something I can do with my life and I can make a difference for someone else? Because as we know, one of the most beautiful things, as Ken always says, is to help someone else.
Definitely. I totally feel like you could do a lot of things, like helping people, especially when you have a talent. I feel like you could help a lot of people in need. Like, for instance, for my voice, I love helping a lot of people with my voice, to raise awareness about different things. Usually, I like to raise awareness here in South Africa, you know, teenage pregnancy, abuse, you know, cancer and all that stuff. We could do a lot of things with our talent to raise awareness. And it just depends on you, whether if you want to do it, if you want to help people. It's all up here though, whether if you want to help other people or not.
Okay, I'm a German guy. I'm a bit practical here, so I need to ask, what specifically could someone do? Like in a nutshell, is there something that you could pass on? I know I'm getting a bit, you know, into the into the details, and as much as I understand it generally, like practically, what would be a first step?
Well, I could give you an example of something that I did for teenagers to raise awareness of teenage pregnancy and all that stuff. We usually do like a concert, and we would like call celebrities, like other well-known celebrities. They would come and perform, and then we get guest speakers where they actually speak and, you know, talk about teenage pregnancy and raise awareness to the teens, and we invite the youth and let them know about teenage pregnancy and all that stuff, and entertain them also, and also give them knowledge, just to share some knowledge so they could be fully aware of everything that's happening around them. So
Yeah, thank you. That's very helpful. So everybody, you know, you can just go and share your ideas and bring people together and create an initiative. David, what are your thoughts on that? Apart from the German guy, you know.
Well, we know the German guys are on time, and we know that they're very practical, and they build good bridges. No, I'm not dismissing Germany. Look at all the arts and crafts and Wagner's and Beethoven's, and it goes on and on. So no, Germans have got a very big artistic bent, obviously. Lassandra, I can see that you've started. We talked about your NGO, and that's trying to give something back to the world or the universe that's giving obviously a lot to you, and it's working in that way. And I'm just thinking about Pipo's question. He said, what practical things can you do? But then I did touch on before with you that you were visiting the schools, inspiring the teenagers, probably a role model, imagine, particularly for teenage youth and females in South Africa and in particular in Durban. And you said that you invited other celebrities as well. So that's good, because I think some celebrities don't have your outlook. I would imagine that some of them get a little bit involved with themselves, and they might forget the community. So that's all helping. It's like they used to do the Live Aid and various programs in times gone by with celebrities. It's maybe a smaller step, but it's a step in the right direction. So yeah, I think you are very hands-on in terms of not just creating beautiful art and beautiful music, but realizing the potentials of what the value of what you're doing. And music, if you just did music per se, if you just concentrated on beautiful music, you would be almost doing enough in terms of bringing a light to the world, a dark world. But yeah, you're going down to the community level and your society, which obviously has got a lot of challenges and poverty and those sorts of things. So as you said, you were struggling to get a bit of sponsorship just at the moment, but what other ideas have you got perhaps to change the direction and even bring more abundance towards your projects?
I was actually thinking of doing like more concerts, to invite people. So, a little bit of money from people from paying. So take that money and then, fund my NPO so my business could run more, properly and all that stuff, because I'm really struggling at the moment. So yeah, I think the more concerts I actually do, the more money I'm gonna make, and the more the unfortunate people, they're gonna benefit from what I'm doing. So I think that will be a great idea moving forward.
Have you ever thought, and I'll pass over to Claire, who's more into the acting obviously than I am, have you ever thought of syncing your music with a poignant documentary or film that could be like raise the issue, could be exported internationally, so that the story and the message that you want more people to know about sort of gets wider known?
I haven't actually thought about that, but that's a great idea.
I'll pass you over to Claire because she's a professional in this area.
Thanks. Well, actually, Lassandra, I love your attitude. It's really refreshing to see somebody who's so young. You've obviously been in the industry for some time, and you haven't been jaded by the industry, nor have you got a big head. What I love is your social conscience. So I kind of wonder, where do you think that's come from? I mean, obviously you've spoken about your mum a bit, but there must have been a number of people in your life that have obviously given you this set of values. We don't see it in every young performer. So you're sort of standing out. So where has this come from?
Basically, I just totally think it's because of the challenges that I've faced, because I've been in the industry for way too long, and there were a lot of challenges that I actually faced as an artist, as an independent artist. And I've come across a lot of very business-minded people, and they've shared their knowledge to me. And I've been to certain events where I'll hear public speakers, well-known public speakers, share their knowledge. And I would just take from bits and pieces and be like, oh, okay, she does this to do this, and there was this other guy, his name is Dr. Naidu, Mr. Naidu, and he said that if you surround yourself with people who are very business minded, who are smart, and they want to make a difference, you actually get motivated to also make a difference. And you also have that motivation of being like, okay, I need to work hard because I'm surrounded by people who are working hard. And you learn a lot from people. I learn a lot from a lot of people. I'm a kind of person that sits back and watch everything and understand. And I like researching, so I do a lot of research and just understand life. And I'm young to say I'm understanding life, but I'm still growing and all that stuff. But the things that are happening around me, I'm just fully aware, and it kind of helps me to be who Lassandra is right now.
Well, it's kind of like, it's great to be surrounded by people who are business minded and everything like that. But there's a certain empathy you've got to have that has to come from within yourself. Otherwise, it just becomes a profile that you have, so that empathy, that sense of social justice is obviously quite strong in you, and that must have come from somewhere.
Definitely at home.
Yeah.
At home, my parents, they really raising me well. They are teaching me how to be an independent woman and how to be smart when making decisions. I shouldn't think one thing. I should have different point of views, perspectives. And I'm really grateful that I have parents that are teaching me how to be wise and, and use my brains.
And do you have siblings?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And are they older or younger than you?
I have a younger brother, and then I have 2 older sisters.
Okay. And do they have that same sense of social justice? And
no, they're just living their lives, And then you get me, the weirdo in the house, trying to make peace and love. And then you're like, why are you not living your life? And I'm like, I just want to make a difference, I just want to inspire before I expire.
Oh, that's great quote.
There's a t-shirt. There's a t-shirt. I want one.
That's right. Yeah. Well, Pipo, what else do you have to say about this amazing girl?
Yes, well, it's a big pleasure to be on the show, and especially I want to give out a shout out to Lungani at this point of bringing me in touch with such incredible people. So Lungani, this is amazing, as you said again, and she's here and we can see her, so here we go. And when I read the bio, I felt like, okay, she's done this and that and this and that, and I need to write a lot of biographies because I understood that if I wanted to do projects, I needed to get funding myself. So the way I went was, I always call it like the engine, then I was the engine, and then you needed to, push it and push it and push it, and then find people, and that those people bring them together. It's been a huge pleasure to be able to, to initiate something and bring people together and see things flourish and happening. And I believe it could be something that everybody would enjoy. However, not everybody does it. It takes a certain courage, and also you need to clean up the spaces afterwards when everybody's gone home or gone for a drink. You need to be the first one on the site and to make sure everybody's happy. And it's really fulfilling. So everybody out there, it's beautiful to do something for others and with others. And it's a little bit of work, but you get used to it, So don't miss out and inspire before you expire. And I want to go to the next video that it's called Affection. And I'm going to see you, as Ken says, at the other end. Okay, so we're going for it. the affection video. 3, 2, 1, and
You are watching Global Sundays.
okay, and here we are back, and we are ready to go to the news section with Ken. Ken, please take over.
Thank you, Pipo. COVID is something that's on everybody's mind, of course, all of us, everywhere in the world. In our second section of news from Adaderana Studio 24 in Colombo, Sri Lanka, we're going to look at the current situation worldwide with the COVID pandemic.
Welcome back. Now onto the update on the COVID crisis around the globe. Yet another grim milestone is mourned across the globe as the global COVID-19 death toll surpasses a whopping 4 million, with the mortality rate being fueled by the latest variants.
COVID-19 has killed 4 million people as of Thursday, while the Delta variant becomes the dominant strain around the world. It's a grim milestone in a health crisis still ravaging countries like Brazil and India. It took over a year for the death toll to hit 2 million, while the next 2 million was recorded in just over 5 months. While the number of cases and deaths have slowed in countries like the US and UK, hospitals are overrun in much of Latin America. The region is facing its worst outbreak since March, as countries like Bolivia, Chile, Brazil, and Uruguay struggle to contain the disease and inoculate their populations. Pan American Health Organization Director Carissa Etienne said earlier this week, quote, "The primary issue in the Americas is vaccine access, not vaccine acceptance." The wealthy group of 7 nations pledged to provide 1 billion COVID-19 vaccines to countries that need supply, like India, which is still reporting one of the highest average death tolls per day. The country accounts for more than 1 in 3 deaths reported each day, according to an analysis. Even still, health experts believe the official death toll worldwide is undercounted.
In some disappointing news, the German-origin jab CureVac has failed at a pivotal coronavirus vaccine test, with its efficacy only reaching its maximum of 47%. However, the firm says the jab can be used on younger participants.
In a disappointing setback for the European Union's vaccination campaign, German firm CureVac said on Wednesday that its COVID-19 vaccine was only 47% effective in a late-stage trial, missing the study's main goal. The efficacy results are based on 134 COVID-19 cases in the study, with about 40,000 volunteers in Europe and Latin America. At least 13 virus variants accounted for the infections among the study population. The company added that the interim results suggest the vaccine is effective in younger participants, but did not prove efficacy in those above the age of 60, the age group most at risk for severe COVID. The stakes for CureVac and prospective buyers of its vaccine in Europe had risen after age limits were imposed on the use of the Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca vaccines, due to a link to extremely rare but potentially fatal clotting disorders. The EU secured up to 405 million doses of the vaccine in November, of which 180 million are optional. The shot was also expected to help in low and middle-income countries that have lagged behind richer nations in the global immunisation drive. Before the emergence of highly effective vaccines, the US Food and Drug Administration had targeted at least 50% efficacy. The World Health Organization had said it was looking for at least 70%. CureVac's shares sank more than 40% in early trading in Europe and were on course for their worst session since their US IPO last August.
We have some good news for you. US health officials announced a major effort today to develop medication that could one day be used to treat COVID and other viruses.
With COVID likely to remain a threat for years to come, the White House and NIH say they will spend $3.2 billion to develop new antiviral over-the-counter pills to treat COVID and future viruses at home, keeping people out of ERs. Meanwhile, the dangerous new COVID Delta variant is spreading fast, now 10% of all U.S. cases. But in young people, the early symptoms can be confused for a cold, headache, sore throat, runny nose, and fever. But vaccination rates are slowing across the country. Just 52% of those 12 and older fully vaccinated. States with the most fully vaccinated citizens are in the Northeast and the West, while the South and Mountain West have the fewest. Among Latinos, only 28% have received just a single dose. Meanwhile, many employees working from home seem reluctant to return to work. One report says less than a third of white-collar workers are back at the office in big cities. Morgan Stanley's CEO told employees this week he expects most of them back by Labor Day.
Moscow's mayor said the COVID-19 situation has unexpectedly and rapidly deteriorated and that the city was probably facing new coronavirus variants that were more aggressive and infectious. For more on this, we have Other There in a World News special correspondent Malsha Pathiraja from Kursk in Russia. Malsha?
Yes, Anuradi. The Russian capital reported over 7,000 new infections, the most in a single day since last December. Authorities confirmed over 14,000 cases nationwide. Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said Friday's caseload would be more than 9,000, which would make it the most recorded in Moscow since the pandemic began. Sobyanin, who was speaking at a government meeting broadcast on state television, did not specify which new virus variants he was referring to. The head of Consumer Health Watchdog, who was also at the meeting, said the number of coronavirus cases attributed to the Delta variant, which was first identified in India, was rising significantly across the country. Sobyanin said officials were rapidly increasing the number of hospital beds in the city to treat possible influx of COVID-19 patients. He announced no new restrictions to rein in the outbreak, but said officials would monitor the situation closely. Back to you, Anuradi.
Thank you. That was Other There in a World News special correspondent Malsha Pathiraja reporting from Kursk in Russia. And finally tonight, the Disneyland Paris theme park opened its doors to visitors after a 7-month-long closure during the COVID-19 pandemic. But safety measures were still in force to stop the virus from spreading. Precautions included a rule that all guests over 6 years of age must wear a mask and enforcement of social distancing. Cast members dressed as their favorite Disney characters, among them Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse and Goofy, were on hand as usual for selfies with visitors, but they were keeping their distance. According to the theme park's revised rules, close interactions, including hugs, will be temporarily suspended. Nevertheless, visitors streaming through the gates at opening times were ecstatic to be there. Inside the park, which is about 40 kilometers west of Paris, the Twirling Teacups ride was in action once again, and people were thronging around Sleeping Beauty's castle. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. I'm Anuradi Wickramasinghe. Until then, stay safe and have a great weekend.
And that is our second news segment today about the COVID virus. As this virus, the fourth variant, there's a new name for it. I'm sorry, I don't even know it. But the fourth variant now that is out, it started in India, and it's posing a great danger. So if you are able to get vaccinated, do. If you are not able to get vaccinated, then find a way to keep you practicing social distancing, wash your hands thoroughly. As a matter of fact, we even put together a bunch of 30 seconds of different classical ballet music to wash your hands to. So anybody who wants some of those tracks to wash your hands and get all that COVID virus off of you, just right into our social media. And so now we're going to continue on with a very serious issue, and it's an issue about abuse, sexual abuse. Our wonderful guest, Lassandra, has performed an original song about sexual abuse called Senzeni, and we're going to show you that video now. This is and so this is the kind of thing that if you've been watching this show, you can see. You know, Lassandra is not just an incredible voice and a talented child who had good upbringing and takes advantage and works hard. She also has a social consciousness. And one of the things that is affecting young people these days more than ever worldwide, and particularly young women, is the sexual abuse. It has to stop. It has to stop. Doing big lawsuits and putting people in jail after they've been abusing people for 20, 30 years is not the answer. The answer is to make sure it doesn't start in the first place. So here is the video, Senzeni, by Lassandra.
You are watching Global Sundays.
Do you need me to do some fill?
lapho ngabe sithandwa khona kungathi lapho uhlukunyezwa khona ngabe sicasha khona ungathi lapho sibulawa khona Senzeni madoda senzeni senzeni Soneni madoda soneni soneni Senzeni madoda senzeni senzeni Soneni madoda soneni soneni Ubuntu buphelile kungathi nonembeza suphelile igazi chithekile aniboni sekwanele enyameni silimele silinyaza abantu ngabe basikhusele emoyeni sonakele abodade besinibambulele Senzeni madoda senzeni soneni soneni madoda soneni soneni sifileni senzeni madoda senzeni yini soneni madoda soneni kanti senzeni madoda senzeni senzeni soneni soneni madoda soneni soneni senzeni 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 soneni soneni madoda soneni soneni
Hey, that was fantastic. So welcome back. And Lassandra, I wanted to ask you, if you could collaborate with somebody, living or dead, doesn't matter, Who would that be, and how would it appear?
It would be Whitney Houston.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we would create a masterpiece. I would definitely, well, if she was alive, we would definitely write maybe a song based on helping people and showing love and peace to one another. You know, I really, really love Whitney Houston because her songs are they just everything to me. I just feel them. It's just amazing. I love them. So I would love to do a song with Whitney, only if she was alive.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
David, what about you and Whitney?
I heard about that.
I'm still waiting for the royalties, but anyway, I think it was touched on before, Lassandra, that if you're in South Africa and you're an independent artist, you definitely, and you're young and you're doing college and things at the moment on top of everything, but you definitely have to get abroad once COVID allows that and tour places. I know Claire will totally agree with me. If you came to Melbourne or Australia or anywhere, you would develop quite a following, and I'm sure in the United States and all those places. So don't. I've travelled the world and nobody still knows me, but in your case, you've got the youth and you've got the talent there. You must take your music and your outlook, those two things together with you, and you will have a band of people following you for a long, for your whole long life. So that's what I wanted to say is please, get that passport organised when COVID allows and get travelling and come out and touch the people with the live concerts and your presence. Mm.
And can I just add that, David, before you mentioned about doing something with acting, I think that's a really great avenue to have a look at as well, Lassandra, just to sort of expand your repertoire, but also it allows everybody to see your different talents. It's not just you as a singer. And sometimes people are very inspired by somebody who steps out of their comfort zone and into another field of performance. I know you mentioned with Ken that you had done ballet and continue to do so if you still are. But take a leap into acting. If it's not for you, it doesn't matter. But I think, it could just open the world to, give it a try. Give it a go.
I've actually acted before in a movie called Miss Candy Queen, and I was the protagonist character, but the young version. It's on Showmax, still playing on Showmax. Yeah, it was interesting. I did in high school. I did drama, business studies, and music. Just to be safe in the industry and be business minded, and also know my music theory and all that stuff, and also for drama, just in case if I want to do acting, presenting, all that stuff. So yeah.
Great. Yeah.
I saw a great deal of acting. If you look at some of the different videos, and if you think about it, I'm speaking to our audience now, that when Lassandra is sitting at the piano playing in the interludes and the background, look at the way, I don't want to speak of you in the third person. I notice the way, Lassandra, that you are in a completely different place. You're a different person than when you're singing a Whitney Houston song, than when you're doing any of the other songs. And that is acting. That's what Liza Minnelli said whenever she does a master class. She said, don't sing a song like you're singing a song like you're talking to your friend, and that you're talking from the point of view of what that song is saying. And so you've already done that. But I think Claire's advice is very, very good advice, because look at Maggie Smith. You can act until you're 250 years old. I'm sure I will hear from her management.
And I'm sure that you have more questions about, when it comes to performance and the performing artists talking with each other. And just before you have those questions, I want to give a big shout out to some of our big fans. And it's great that you continue to join in and that you're here. So Junior Mambaso and Black Mambaso, big shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here in this story. And also to Koznatsi Shabala, who says, we have a Shabagala, okay. This is only a question of my printer not working, of course, that doesn't work. And, it's a technical issue. And as Lungani said, we will put it all on the technical issues.
You have to buy in.
So he says, hi, everyone. I love you all. And the power of love. Now, let's get back to the questions you had in mind, Ken.
Okay. So one question I have, and I ask every performer this, is what's your routine? How do you get ready for an event or for a performance? And, how much in advance do you start?
So basically, before I go to any events, I take my mom's phone. Usually I download all my backing tracks there and I just listen to them and then, just read through the lyrics and then I just arrive at the event and then just wait to perform. I really don't do anything. Like I used to do warm-ups, but then I don't anymore. I don't know why. It's just I love singing. It's just who I am. Music defines me. So yeah, I don't have a certain routine. I just arrive there, do my thing, and then go home.
Well, yeah, I remember I did 14 years of touring a musical show as a singer, and there did come a point that it was like my vocal cords were always ready to go, like no matter what. I just had to sort of drink some water, clear my throat, but it was a change because it was like, instead of me getting my body to produce the sound, it was just, that's the sound I made. I didn't have to do anything to do that, but that took probably about 7 or 8 years of constant touring for me to have that relationship with my own voice. And I did not at those days warm up either. I used to think terrible thoughts of Barbra Streisand, who claims she never warms up, but then I got to a point that my voice just worked, same thing with dancing. I could do a couple of pliés, a couple of grand battements, and I could perform any role. So I do understand that. I'm looking at our thing here. So now, we did the response. So let me go on to question number 8 then. So where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I always used to say I will see myself in the next 5 years, but in the 10 years, most definitely a very successful and independent woman. Still working on to building my own empire, very successful, living the dream, and most definitely, making sure that my parents are living their dream. I'm doing this for my parents, they deserve the world.
That's wonderful. In every singer's career, every singer who does build an empire, there's one moment, there's one song, and it happens. I hope you find that song. I hope, and it's always, that song is always something that completely suits that voice, that temperament, that persona. It just all comes together. It's like with Celine Dion and the theme song to the Titanic movie, which I think it's My Heart Will Go On or something like that. She wasn't going to sing that song. She didn't think it had enough depth or something. And then they said, well, just if you did do it, what would it be? And so she just did a track of it. And that's the track that was in the movie. And that was it. You know, she was already very, very well known, but then that song made her eternal. And you will find that song, and I do hope you find it very soon, so that we have you singing it over decades of your own development and maturity. And so,
well, that looks like you're looking towards the future, Ken. That is very good at your young age to be looking ahead and planning all those things.
So I'm inspired now, so I refuse to expire.
That's the spirit.
Oh, hell.
Well,
the thing is,
I started to we've been talking about fashion not enough yet, but hair, you know, I mean, it's impossible to go into a competition. Yes, exactly. So my hair speaks for my age. So I would like to go to the past, and I was interested. Was there a point that you remember being aware of the gift you had?
I wasn't fully aware about my gifts. My mom actually, you know, told me that, oh no, Lassandra, I think singing is your gift. And I think that's when I was, you know, starting to perform, you know, professionally. That's when I started realizing that I had a gift. And I started, you know, using it in the right way. Because before I started singing professionally, my mom told me that I should be grateful for my gift. God gave me something, and I should use it to show appreciation to Him. So, yeah, I think it's when I was like 7, 8, yeah, when I realized that I had a gift.
Wow.
So how do you set your priorities? We've got a million things that we're confronted with, Lassandra. So you've got this you got to do today, this you got to do this week, this you got to do this month, next 3 months, 6 months. Do you have a process for working that out, or did you just organically, you know, what crops up and how you feel at the time, or are you very dogmatic and this is what I must achieve by a certain time?
I actually set goals for myself. I have small goals. I have long-term goals, and I focus more on the short ones, you know, my short-term goals, and I make sure that I achieve them. So I always set goals for myself. And if I don't achieve that goal, I make sure that I'll identify the faults in why I failed, and I won't, you know, be like, no, okay, I failed, now I'm giving up. I'll just, you know, improve, you know, and fix my mistakes. So I set goals and all that stuff for myself, you know, and, you know, yeah, that's what I do.
And is it in your mind, or do you actually write them down like in a diary, something?
It's in my head. I used to write it down. I used to write down when I was in primary school and high school, but now I'm like, nah, it's in my head. I always remind myself. Yeah.
You're incredibly disciplined, Lassandra.
Thank you.
That's really it's great to see from somebody who's so young. I mean, you know, at your age, a lot of people are just going out and partying and getting wasted, and you know, I mean, they might. I'm not saying they don't have any goals and aspirations, and a lot of them do achieve that too. But you seem to be incredibly disciplined in what you need to achieve, and it's really refreshing to see. It's amazing. And so when you're thinking of songs and everything, what do you think makes a great song? What is a song that you go, this is the one, and you know that people are going to come along with you?
Usually when I write a song, I usually express my emotions, and I just make sure that when I write a song, I'm not just writing it just for that specific reason. Like, people can relate it in many different ways. So that's how I write. And I kind of feel like it's to, you know, heal people, you know, touch people's hearts in different ways. So that's how I write my music. I think about it. But now the funny thing is, I actually freestyle most of the time now. I don't write. I usually go to the studio and just listen to the beats, and then I'll just think of the things that I go through, or sometimes I just think of the things that are happening around me, and I will just freestyle about the certain title that I want to sing. It's funny, but people will be like, nah, that's not true. You write it. But my producer, he was amazed because I'm sticking to doing that. I like freestyling. I kind of feel like I express my emotions a lot if I freestyle.
Yeah. Okay. And so what about some of the classic songs, like the songs that you say that you choose, the old songs? What is it about them that you think, when you choose a great song, what is the quality in the song that you look for that resonates with you?
Mostly it's the melody and the lyrics and how they play along with their lyrics. It's very touching. I'm the type of person where I listen to old music. I would listen to that person's, lyrics and understand them. And I'll tend to read the lyrics without, listening to the song and just understand what that person was specifically going through. What is that person trying to say? What are you trying to, pass a message? What's your message? So that's what I do. I read the lyrics and understand them. And the music now, that the artists that they do, it's just for entertainment compared to, the old music. So, yeah.
Great.
I just recently watched a couple of videos about Carly Simon. I don't know if you know the music of Carly Simon. Actually, there's a book out, and it's Joni Mitchell, Carly Simon, and Carole King, and it's called Girls Like Us. And it's about how they, as young musicians, shaped the imagination of women and the possible roles for women in the world. And Carly Simon, of all of them, her songwriting has really survived and survived and survived. She had 23 albums and 7 hits. And an album would have between 8 and 15 tracks. So if you take 23 times that, and only 7 of them were hits, and yet today her music is played more than any of the others. And they asked her about her songwriting, and she wrote one song called Anticipation that they found out that there's a woman in a mental institution who has extreme anxiety, and she leads all of the other patients with her every day singing Carly Simon's Anticipation, because it makes them be able to focus in their day. And that's an application of a song that, of course, Carly Simon never would have thought of. She wrote that song when she had opened a concert for Cat Stevens. And after their tour was over, he asked her if they could have a date, and he was coming over to pick her up. And she was sitting there so anxious because this famous singer was going to be coming and having a date. And that's when she wrote that song, Anticipation. It was about, a girl in her late teens anticipating having a date with somebody famous. But what Carly said when asked why of all of your generation were your songs the ones that have kept being played, she said that she thinks it's because she was always honest in her songs. She was always honest about exactly what she was feeling and how she was feeling it. She didn't try to make it into something, big. She just wanted to be honest. And when you're honest, then your message is universal. It sounds like you have that in your approach, even with the freestyling, what's going on, how you feel. Honesty is life. And so I think that that's just wonderful. Dave, I believe that I just stepped on your slot.
That's okay. You were going to ask me something in the break, Lassandra, and I didn't get to answer you. So you want to have a shot, because I've already asked you my other question, which was about your priorities and your goal setting.
Yes. No. So basically, I was just asking about, being a jazz. Okay, I'm a jazz student, and I just wanted to know, how was it being, to gain that knowledge? Because I kind of feel like you learn a lot when you learn how to be a jazz student. So I just want to know, how does it feel like? Do you get any benefits from learning jazz? How does it help you in life?
Yeah, so I'm working with Ken and his team at the academy were doing this classical ballet, which is all, if you think of orchestras and violinists and everything. But with Ken's libretto of Niwa, there's a lot of scope. So there's places there where we have all sorts of djembes and timbales and all sorts of exotic percussion. And I think that just as Ken said that you'd done some ballet, and if you were to do a movie down the track or something, you could adapt to any style with your background in the ballet, because you've got obviously discipline and technical from the ballet training. So I'll put a question back to you before I answer your question, if that's right. What led you to enroll in jazz at the university?
I actually started being a pop student, but I didn't feel like I kind of felt it was easy. I felt like it wasn't gonna help me in the future, but I felt like jazz, you gain a lot of knowledge, you learn a lot, it's just interesting. And working as an ensemble, it's just so beautiful, because it's not just, you, it's just teamwork, and it kind of helps me, and I love it. I just love jazz. It's beautiful.
Well, that's interesting, because because a lot of people, there's a very old adage that's been put around that says if you play pop music and that's 3 chords, you get 10,000 people, and if you play 10,000 chords, you get a listening audience of 3. So but jazz is just like everything else, like opera, like every other genre. It's just huge, because it's developed now over 100-something years. What's beautiful about jazz is that Western tradition of music in Europe, folk music and classical music and other forms developed for hundreds of years, and then all of a sudden, when the unfortunate slave trade came to America, and when the Civil War ended and all the instruments were made available, and poor people in New Orleans, predominantly black poor people, were able to access trumpets and clarinets and things. And there was no jazz school, obviously, in New Orleans, although it was a school. And then you've got your great proponents like Louis Armstrong, and then it just developed from there. And just like classical music, all the studies come after the idiom's been created, if you understand. So the fact that you're open-minded is fantastic, because I've had occasion to work with some rock artists, pop artists, and in a way they've almost got like a tunnel vision about music. They only want to hear a rock or a pop viewpoint on music, and then occasionally you'll meet somebody that has also been classically trained. You look at Freddie Mercury from Queen or someone like that. They've actually had some very advanced technical training, and then they put it into their pop music. So I just like the ballet would help you with any kind of dance you'd like to take up. Your expanding knowledge in jazz is going to help you with your songwriting. The espoused most in tune jazz singer of all time that I was told, and I think that's quite true, is Nat King Cole. And a lot of people don't know Nat King Cole was one of the best jazz pianists in America. He was a marvelous velvet voice, etc., and proponent of jazz. But that man, we'd say it that way, that cat could play. He really could play the piano. So every singer that I ever meet who never plays an instrument, just learns singing, it's almost like hit and miss. Some of them for some raw talent of being able to sing, but every singer that I meet that usually has a background with an instrument, then you said you're learning some piano and harmony and playing, the intonation aspect really, really improves. And it's just going to be wonderful that you've got that grounding at your young age. You're not finding this out when you're 40 or 50. You're finding out about keys and tuning and some parts of it. And it'll help your songwriting down the track, because you'll have more tools. You've got more. If you were an artist and you only had the 3 primary colors, you could mix it to a certain point, but you've got so many colors now in the harmony and things. So whether you go on with jazz per se, and as you said, it's very intimate, and a little bit closed shop sometimes for audiences who can't appreciate it. But there's an intellect driving behind you, because I watched your pop music just a while back, shortly back there, and you can certainly nail it in the pop type music, but having this extra depth is just absolutely marvelous. So if you can fit it in your timetable, finish your course. Then what they say with jazz is learn the theory, then throw all the textbooks away.
Yeah.
Okay.
My teacher actually said that before.
Yeah. So the two groups of people that made it in jazz, you've got people like Chet Bakers, and that they didn't spend a lot of time at colleges, but they became at the top of their vanguard. But they're like one in a million, and there's other people who fast track as well. So, but your teacher is dead right. When you internalize your music so much through all your practice and your hard work, you can literally throw the textbook away, and it'll just, one day you'll be singing even a pop song or sitting down to write one, and all these things are coming through. And I know in my diverse background of ethnic music and Oriental music and thank you very much, and some shows that
Jazz
helps
knowledge.
you. So I've been told to zip it.
Oh
Thank
my
you so
God, that's an
much,
Aussie
sir.
talking,
Thank
hey?
Thank you so
Let-
much. Thank you.
My
I
pleasure.
gained a lot of knowledge.
Should get more superficial here. I really want to ask you about fashion now. Okay, so let's get back to business. Any advices? No, like, hold on. Okay, so I get my advices from our producer. He introduced me as a stripper. Thank you. It's always good, Lungani, to think of other job possibilities in these difficult times. And as a dancer and a choreographer, I'm very open to you teaching me some of your special moves. So, thank you for the offer. However, thank you, but no thank you. Okay, so how do you choose your outfits?
I love fashion. I love clothing. My mom is my fashionista, so she helps me out. But I really, really, really love clothing. Like, I used to draw a lot. Like, I don't draw now, but like I used to draw. I'll like draw a nice dress and be like, Mom, I need this dress for like the certain event. Can you just give it to the best designer or something who design the dress? And I'll just draw the outfits for myself, and then we'll look for things that look similar to the things that I've drawn. So yeah, I love fashion. I'm a very artistic human being. I just love everything that's just artistic.
So is there something in preparation for the next show? What are you thinking of? What is en vogue? What's in at the moment? What are you looking at? Which is the style? We can see you have a beautiful way already today. The help me out, Ken. How's it called?
The kimono. The kimono. She's got a Japanese.
Kimono is how you pronounce it in Japanese. Kimono.
Kimono. Yes.
Like Claire said.
Crunchy.
Yeah, well, Ken actually, he learned how to make tutus in one of the ways that wasn't done anymore, and it's just incredible if you're able to make your own clothing. And so drawing it. So is there anything you can tell us that is top secret, but we're gonna know it today? Like the next outfit.
I don't know. I'm very classy. I like something that's very formal, elegant, classy, not too outstanding, but I just want, when somebody looks at me, they'll be like, wow, she looks very respectful. She looks very clean and elegant. That's my style. I like that.
You're not gonna go down to Lady Gaga.
Oh no, no meats.
Well, it's clear if you ask any of my children, they will tell you that I don't know what the definition of the word fashion is, and I really don't. I know the construction of a tutu, and I know that if a tutu is designed properly and you make a custom tutu for a ballerina, she will pay between 3,800 and 25,000 US dollars for a custom tutu. But I can only tell you the technique of how it's constructed. Choosing a color, choosing a fabric is blind on me. I just wanted to say about your fashion sense and the way you present yourself. It's just a shame you have such a terrible body for wearing clothes. Oh my God, I couldn't believe in your videos. Forgive me if this is wrong or un-PC or whatever, but wow, you've got the most incredible form. It must be so great to be able to design something, have it made, and have a body like that. For me, I have to mainly think about camouflage so that people don't see my form, but you're really lucky. And I think that that's not a big part. I don't know. It's a very important element to the music videos and stage performance to be able to turn yourself out in that way that makes it become a subject. What you're wearing and how you wear it is as much of a subject as the setting, the music, the song, everything else. It's a major part of performance. And as you say about being dignified, it also sets a boundary, it sets a tone, it sets a mood. So I have to rely on other people to tell me what to wear. But you're very lucky that you have that gift.
But also, can I just add that, what we've put into our body obviously reflects on the outside as well. So you must be looking after yourself, with good nutrition, good sleep, all the things that, probably our parents would tell us to do. It's obviously, a lifestyle that you're pursuing. Yeah.
Claire, I believe you have the last question.
I do indeed. So, Lassandra, let's take a break. Oh, right. Okay. Let's do that.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll see you at the other end of the break.
That is an amazing talk. Lapayana. We have Claire, we have people, we have David Pike, who's having a shot of vodka right now as we talk. It's a joke, but maybe it's not a joke. And also Lassandra, who's having a glass of wine. It's a joke, and maybe it's not a joke. And we have people who's having something that looks weird from Germany, and we have Mr. Laden, obviously, that is having a bottle that looks like water, but there's something that is on fire in that bottle. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to appreciate people who are watching at home right now. So you do not think that we are leaving you behind, because you are the people that makes the show possible, obviously, with our special guests and our host. Let me say quickly hello to Batabile Rubushe. Batabile Rubushe. Ay man, ngishayele nizandla. And she is saying network is really bad here in South Africa indeed. And she is saying your mother is your big supporter. I think that message goes to Lassandra, and she is giving a big round of applause here on YouTube. Shout out to you. And we see a DJ Catafond is sending a lot of fires and hearts and love and a lot of different things. Unfortunately, I cannot go on WhatsApp right now. I see there's a lot of a voice note that are coming from WhatsApp. I just want to, work our way to wrapping up the show. I know it's really nice, it's really amazing. I don't want to spoil the party. I can see everything is nice and it's going very well. I'm just gonna you know, I had to give everybody a break because they're doing very well. And people asked me that he wants to take his shot of vodka. So, you know, I was like, okay, you know what, let me give them a break. But yeah, guys, take over, continue. And then I know we have a few minutes before we close the show, but just because we were a bit delayed, you know, I will allow just a little bit of expression because I know, I mean, I've been sitting here watching and I'm enjoying the show. I love each and every one of you, you know, everything that each and every one of you is sharing with the public and with everyone who's watching. It's really amazing, you know, it's really amazing. Yeah, I'm just gonna hand over to our host, and I'm gonna sign out, and I'll see you guys later on before we close the show. I just wanted to give my lovely host a break. Let's go.
So I believe, Claire, you were about to ask.
I was about to ask before I was rudely interrupted. Lassandra.
Nice to your producers.
Yeah.
And tip your wait staff. Okay.
Clearly. So, when in doubt, what do you do?
I pray. I pray. Yeah, I pray. I have a lot of faith. And my mom told me that when you pray, don't just pray because now you feel like you're stuck and you just need help and you're just praying for the sake of praying because you think that if you pray, God is going to instantly do some magic and like, boom, everything's going to be okay. My mom told me that if you pray, number one, before you pray, believe in what you pray for. And don't just pray for that one day. It has to be a routine. So I pray and then the following day, I just sit down and think, okay, what do I need to do? What are the things that I need to do in order to you know, recover from whatever, you know, I'm going through or whatever doubts that I have? What can I do to improve my life or whatever, etc. So yeah, that's what I do.
There is somebody who once said that you need to use prayer and God as a steering wheel, not as a life preserver. That, you know, when you fall off of a ship. And then somebody told me once, you know, I run this arts organization, and there was a period of time, talk about no sponsors. You know, there's so many people that rely on me, not just the kids and their families for the education, but our staff, our faculty. I didn't know what to do. And somebody said to me, well, don't pray for an answer. It's against the nature of God to withhold grace. Say a prayer of thanks as if you've already gotten what it is you need. And so those are things that sort of guide me in prayer. And the fact that in a conversation, prayer is when you're talking, meditation is when you're listening, and have it be that conversation between prayer and meditation. But I'm very glad to hear you have that answer.
Thank you.
Very, very good answer.
Thanks.
Now, at this point in the show, everybody sort of has their last words. And so you, I believe, Lassandra, in this show, we should let you have the last word. Okay? And so why don't we start with David? Why don't we start? What are your last words here, David?
Just to recap of what I suggested, I think you should definitely find a way to do a documentary and or film using your music and projecting your message internationally. And the second thing is that as soon as the COVID allows you and circumstances allow you, you should definitely come touring overseas. Come to Australia, especially.
You'll have to come to America to get the map. I'll give you a map to Australia. It's just, you just go down.
No, you just sail east. Just sail east. You'll get this.
Claire, what are your last words on your your maiden voyage?
My maiden voyage. Well, thank you so much for inviting me, particularly Lungani, but everybody else who's been on the panel. And it has been an absolute delight to meet you, Lassandra, and to hear your wisdom, actually. For somebody so young, you're really grounded, and it's so refreshing to see. And I wish you so much good fortune, happiness, and I know you're going to go far. And yes, I'm the same, David. I agree. You should come to Australia, and you'll be so welcome here. And can't wait to see you.
Aww.
As a matter of fact, Claire's husband is probably going to be the music engineer running your shows.
That's right.
Wait. How come nobody has ever asked me to come to Australia? This is unfair.
Well, reputation precedes everything, doesn't it, Lungani? Can't wait to see you in Australia either, Lungani.
Okay. Before anybody else says anything, I just would like to say thank you so much, Lassandra, for making time to be part of the Global Sunday Show. I know back in South Africa, it's very late right now. It's almost 12 midnight. You are a very busy lady. And you made this time to speak to the people, to speak to the public, to speak to us. I mean, we welcome you to the Global Sunday family. You're now part of the family. Please, I always tell everybody when they newly join the Global Sunday family that each and every time you have something going on, you have a new project, you have anything that is going on that is like food for the public, please let the Global Sunday know so we can spread the word that Lassandra is working on this. Lassandra has new meal for you. Go and have fun, go and enjoy, go and have dinner, go and eat so you can be healthy, because the Global Sunday is all about encouraging people, inspiring people, talking about our background, being real. It's real talk, real people. And I would like to say thank you so much for making time to be part of the show. You are so amazing. And we wish you all the best in your career. I'm just going to step off before Claire... before Claire mark on me, or people, because I know they always mark on me. I'm just going to step out and let my beautiful host close the show. Over to you guys.
I believe we were up to Pipo.
Well, I would love to give another 20 minutes to David speaking about why to do jazz, and then I need a time machine because I want to take that course too. You really got me there, David. And just really beautiful, And it was once said, the only thing you need is a teacher sometimes. And that teacher that will ignite. Of course, there's talent and there's discipline, but we need someone who, as someone says, points the torch into the right direction, into the darkness that we don't know, this strange place called future that we also talked about. And that was very beautiful. So David, thank you so much for pointing that out, all the many things of jazz. I love jazz, and unfortunately I studied the classical piano for 8 years only, and I had a Russian teacher who was a pianist for the ballet of the Stuttgart Ballet, and he was a strict guy, So I would do a lot of things there, and when it came to jazz, it was a little late. and so am I getting late. So thank you so much, everybody. And Lassandra, it's been a pleasure to meet you. And as the others said, it would be a pleasure to meet you in person. I wish you all the best.
You are
for
watching
the future,
Global
and
Sundays.
now, and the same for your family.
I think we went to a video. Are we back?
So we just came back for the monologue. Yes, thank you, Lungani. Give me an extra 5 minutes. Like in soccer, you know? I'm gonna pass on to David Pike.
I'm timing myself. Lassandra, what have you got on this week?
I beg your pardon?
What have you got on this week?
School, and I'm writing my last exam for my first semester, so I have to do a lot of studying for that because it's not easy work.
No. Good luck with all of that.
Thank you so much.
And a well-deserved holiday, hopefully.
So thank you, Cassandra, too, for everything you know. I have been in a battle my whole life, or since 1980, to preserve the fine arts, and everything has been eclipsed by the commercial. And in the United States, if you are involved in the fine arts, you're considered the village idiot. You're just dull. You know, you're not all business. And you know, through Lungani, I have been introduced to some incredible people that are in a commercial field that are very much artists. And so, Lungani, what you said to me earlier this morning, you're right. You're absolutely right. He reminded me, he said, oh, you know, Dad, you've said this every time. And then you say, oh my God, they're really amazing. The commercial doesn't talk to me. The commercial to me is something that threatens me. And so when I see a slick commercial package, it makes me want to protect myself. And then getting to know you and getting to know many of the guests we've had on this show, I'm learning that you cannot, that old thing, you can't tell a book by its cover. You are amazing. You are amazing. And you will be able to have a career that's going to reach to all of the realms. And if you keep at it. So I just think that you're amazing, and I feel terrible and guilty at what my first reaction was when I was looking at the videos. I was like, this is like MTV, this, you know, and yet there's this incredible artist. And I know that the future of all of humanity and culture and civilization and the human race is in the hands of the artists. So thank you. What would you like as a departing words for yourself here?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for everything for today. And gained a lot of knowledge, especially from David. I'm from David. Thank you so much, guys. And may God bless you with many, with anything, whatever you want, you may accomplish anything that you need. May God be, fulfill all your dreams. I don't even know what to say because I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just, I'm so tired right now. But also, I just, for the fans out there, if you want to accomplish something, always have the consistency of working hard and just have that mindset of not giving up. And don't just think just because you failed, it doesn't mean that you're not going to make it, because a lot of people fail in life. You could fail 8 times, but you never know if you try the 9th time, maybe that will be, the great, the thing, that will make you very successful. So don't give up and keep working hard and focus.
Speaking of fans, how can they reach you? What are
yes,
public
on
access?
social media. Yes, on social media, on Instagram and on Twitter, I'm Lassandra_SA. And yeah, you can get me there. And if you want to email me for like bookings and all that, it's oriol@yahoo.com. So it's Oriol, it's OURIAL at Yahoo, YAHOO.co. No, not that. What am I saying now? .com. COM. Almost said .co.za.
Claire.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching from all over the world. It's really exciting to know that people are awake at whatever time zone you're in. It's fabulous. Thanks.
Come back to us next week. Every week, you're going to meet us on the Global Sunday at the usual time. It's been a pleasure to have you, and we love you all, and we always will.
Thanks to the team. Thanks, Lassandra. I always enjoy these sessions. Thanks, Lungani, for your show and putting it together, and for investigating fine arts, and keep going with this. This is very important in the world.
Global Sunday offers something that you cannot get anywhere else. Come back, tell your friends, come and join us. This is quite something special.
And before we close the show, thank you so much, guys. Thank you, all of you. It has been an amazing day. I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard to end the show because you guys, each and every one of you, are very, very awesome. I just want to ask the last question to our special guest. There's a person out there who's watching, and they're seeing these happy artists. I mean, from Claire down to Lassandra, we are all artists, and we look so excited, we look so happy, we are alive, and they're asking themselves, how do we do it? And they've been trying, and they're feeling like giving up. They don't have a direction. Lassandra Majola, what would you say to a young person? I know you're young. We're both young, but people who look up to us. What would you say to that person who feels like they want to give up right now? They've been failing and failing. Maybe they failed 2 times, they failed 3 times. It's really hard for them. What are your words for that kind of a person before we close the show? Ma'am, please take over.
One thing I could say is you have to remain patient in this game. You need to be very patient. And during that period of time of you being patient, you need to work hard. I have failed so many times, but I never use my failure as an excuse and be like, I'm just going to give up because I failed so many times. I actually motivate myself with my failure. And I tell myself, okay, I failed because of this, this, and this. I need to push and work hard. And block your ears. Don't listen to other people, because people just throw negative things on you and they're trying to break you down. Don't listen to other people. Just focus on yourself. Be yourself. Don't try and be anyone else. Just be you. Be unique and live your life to the fullest, and just keep working hard, because no matter your age, you can do it. It's just a matter of time and patience, Yeah.
Powerful. That was Lassandra, and on the panel we have Claire from Australia, we have Mr. Ladin, we have Mr. Tafel, and we have David Pike hosting a beautiful special guest from South Africa in Durban. Lassandra, she is a musician and also she is a leader. That was powerful. She did say that, of course, you don't have to give up. You will get some critics out there. And one thing that is amazing that I want to emphasize on, that if you think you have a talent, you have a mind, you have an idea in your mind, and you are scared to work on your idea, think about this. Think about the people that you're going to help. Think about the people that you're going to help through your idea. If you do not work on your idea, think about the number of people that are going to suffer because you didn't work on your idea. So whatever idea that you have, stop listening to other people, like Lassandra just said right now. Stop listening to other people who do not believe in you. Do what you believe in, because it might happen that the idea that you have might be the last idea that you would ever have in this entire world. If you die, you die with a dream that you will never have in the future. So please, stop listening to people who are being negative to you. Stop hanging around with people who are limiting you. Even if it's your parent, if it's your brother, your sister, or whoever it is, if they say, you know what, that is impossible, you cannot do that, they are limiting you. Do not neglect them, but stay away a little bit from them so you can be able to work on your career, because anything and everything is possible in this world. Nobody is God in this world. We all here for the same reason, in which we do not know why we're here. If you know why you're here, come to me. Come to my house and tell me why you're here and when you're gonna die. And what's your specialty? What's your talent? Come to me and tell me all of that. So I say we all here for the same reason, because we are here to find out why we are here in this world. And it looks like we are here to help one another. As soon as we know exactly what we're good at, then we can focus on that and start helping other people. So power to all of you guys who are in this panel. So amazing. Well said. I'm not going to add anything, but I would like to say thank you so much. I'm really blessed to have people like all of you guys. This is the Global Sunday. Oh my gosh, people are gonna be mad at me because I'm like very serious right now. I'm never serious. I'm always going like crazy and what, but I'm oh my god, I'm even sweating. Okay, but Lungani Gwala, aka Chocolate Kid Leo in the building. This is the Global Sunday. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We are going to meet up same place, same time next week. We You know what? I'm not going to even say much. I'm just going to play this video from Lassandra. And hopefully you had fun. All of you has been sending me messages on WhatsApp. Send me a voice note. I will make sure that I play that voice note next week. Guys, you know what? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm done. I'm done with it. Oh my God. I'm done. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Everyone, please say bye to people who are watching at home. Claire, say bye. People, say bye. Everyone, say bye, because we are done for today. Lassandra, say bye. Please, please, please. Oh my God. Can't we end the show already?
No. Good night.
You are watching Global Sundays.
Who is he?
You are watching Global